It's so easy every day living in Lubbock, who on and only LBK. We got rock and roll, we got the blues, two-stepping in the honky tonks and our cowboy boots. Through the dust in rearview mirror you can see our rhythm and roots. Rhythm and roots. Welcome to another episode of LBK Rhythm and Roots podcast. I'm your host, Jason Robertson. Rhythm and Roots is a podcast that focuses on Lubbock musical talent. And today we have in studio a very, very talented artist, Miss Joy Harris. Hi, Joy.
Hi, Jason. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this. The cast and crew, everybody here has been very excited to get you in here. So,
nice. Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm looking forward to this. This is awesome.
Killer hat. You're looking fly today. I love it.
Thank you.
Always looking good.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you. I know, let's talk a little bit about how you kind of got started with your musical journey. So is this something that did you grow up in a musical family, church? How did you?
Yes. So my early kind of musical career is I started playing piano when I was about 4. My dad was a preacher, so I grew up playing in church. And I got the benefit of coming up with both the classical kind of background and the ear background playing in, Black gospel churches, So I got the benefit of both sides of the world of learning. And then whenever I got in about 6th grade, I got in a band. I was a percussionist and fell in love with that, making a lot of noise. And my junior year in high school, I picked up a bass guitar. I was playing with a band of some of my buddies from high school, Sean Pace and Brad Hutcherson, and we had a band called Forever Days. And I started playing bass then with them, and we won the Battle of the Bands, I guess, my junior year. And then I studied music at Texas Tech University, percussion, performance, the orchestral thing. And
Nice.
And now I'm running amok with the bass guitar.
Yeah, you're running amok for sure, all over.
Yeah.
So was anybody else in your family musician or singer?
Yes. So my dad, before he was a preacher, he was a jazz musician. He played the Hammond B3. And
so that's where that little bit of jazz influence comes from.
Oh, yeah. He was very particular about what we listened to growing up, of course, being the preacher though. So I could only listen to classical, gospel, and jazz, more instrumental stuff. He was very particular about lyrics. So I grew up listening to a lot of stuff like that. Now, he didn't play whenever I was growing up, but I knew he had a love for music because we listened to music around the house like a lot of people watch TV. So I grew up, there was always music playing, always.
That's the way our house is. I like it like that.
Yeah, it's better that way.
It is.
Yeah.
Who needs TV when you have music?
Yeah, and little people, there's plenty to be entertained by.
You got a big family?
Yes. So my mother and father, of their union, there's 5 of us, and I'm the oldest of that union. So there's 5 of us, and we're all stacked up. Within 6 years, there's 5 kids. So
I bet that was fun growing up like that. Your mom must be a saint.
She is. My mom is awesome, and we were very well behaved.
Hey, when you got 5 little ones, they have to be well behaved.
Yeah.
There's no time for riffraff.
Yes. And of course, older siblings, friends, cousins, lots of people. And then my mom is one of 7. My dad was one of 15. So
wow.
big old family.
Got family reunion you got to rent the whole community center.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
So when you started playing music, did piano feel natural to you? Was it something that you gravitated to when you started playing? Or do you just remember always playing the piano since you started so young? Is it something that you just feel like you've always done?
Well, I remember whenever I asked my parents for piano lessons, at my dad's church whenever I was little, and there was a choir director, the minister of music, and she played piano, and I distinctly remember watching her give the choir their parts, and then it was so cool to see how they were stacking the harmonies and everything. And so I was like her little shadow. And then my folks got me lessons, and so I started doing that that deal, like getting learning how to read and everything. But I definitely remember watching her play, and then like the notes, and seeing it stack up, and I was like, I want to do that. So yeah.
Cool. Did you start out in the classical formal training, or was it more just did you gravitate toward the gospel side of things when you were playing piano? What kind of stuff did you start out playing?
So my piano teacher that's here, she's awesome, and she figured me out pretty early. But I grew up because of the gospel deal, like everybody learned their parts by ear and stacking the harmonies. My ear was more developed early on than the reading. But so I would say I gravitated more towards the ear playing first, and especially harmony. But my piano teacher, my ears were so much faster than my reading. We'd have our little lesson books, and you have your exercises. And I remember one lesson, I hadn't got to practice that much that week. And I went in, and she played the exercise for me, and I was like, I just memorized what you played. And I was like, okay, I can play that back. It's simple. And my music fell off the piano, put it back up there, but it was upside down. And so I'm sitting there, and she was like, busted. And I was like, oh. She's like, I'm never playing anything for you again. I'm gonna make you read. And I'm happy she did that. It was frustrating at first, but I'm very grateful that she made me learn how to read. But she let me do my thing. So I'm a huge classical fan, of course, like studying orchestral performance. That I'm a big fan of the classical world,
Really?
and growing up listening to that stuff too. But I like it. I have two types of music, good and bad.
Yeah. Not really a genre. It's either good or bad.
Right.
You listen to just about anything.
Yeah. If it's got a good spirit about it, if somebody's doing, like, if there's like a craftsman doing something really well, I love to see that. Love to hear it.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that, to me, that's one of the things that's so rewarding about being. I'm more of a songwriter than a musician, and to me, that is where it's at for me, is crafting something. When you can take something from nothing and the muse shows up, and you can create it, and it becomes something that other people feel. To me, that's the beauty in making music.
Oh yeah, it's it's a vibe thing.
It is. Yeah. So through your career, starting with piano and then gravitating into drums, gravitating into bass, what's your favorite of those to play? I mean, I know you probably use, as we talked before, you use the piano to write. You make your living with the bass.
Yeah.
But, do you have a passion for one or the other? Or?
So, not particularly. Obviously, most people know me as a bass player because that's what they see the most. But I just my goal is always to get better. So I'll be heavy on the bass for a while, and then something will catch me in the percussion world, and I'll go down that rabbit hole, and then I'll come back to bass. Or I might work on my songwriting for a little bit, or the vocals, or piano. So I wouldn't say there's particularly a favorite one, but I spend a lot more time with my bass, that's for sure, with Vicious.
Well, you've gotten pretty dang good at it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
very
very
accomplished. Songwriting. Let's talk about songwriting a minute. How long have you been writing? Is that something that's evolved later in your career musically, or have you always been a writer of sorts?
So whenever I first started playing piano and doing the ear thing, I would write my little song. So I found a couple of years ago, cleaning out some stuff, a box of old cassette tapes of like songs I had written whenever I was like 8, and then simple little kid songs, And then I got more into like the craftsman side of like executing, playing instruments well. And I always wrote, like even in our band in high school, we were an original band too. So we had a lot of original stuff. And then so I got to write with them a different style because that was more rock oriented. And I didn't grow up listening to rock. So it was like this whole world of guitar and riffs and drop. I played everything in drop C sharp, So getting all of that in. And then whenever I got to tech, of course, more focused on the craft, but I would write more jazz oriented things. And then here recently, a couple of years ago, more into like the songwriter type deal, and did a couple of retreats, LIPA, and the Buddy Holly Hall and all of that in conjunction with the Buddy Holly Educational Foundation. They done a couple of singer-songwriter retreats.
Yeah, you
and
probably know my friend Steve Geary then, don't you?
Oh yeah, he was there. He was there the first year I
Yeah.
got to do it. It was awesome, and that's such a cool experience. So that's kind of sent me down this more singer-songwriter rabbit hole the past couple of years. But I feel a shift going back into getting in the shed.
Getting lost in the bass.
Yeah, getting in the shed. Yeah.
So let's talk about I know you're a solo artist. Let's talk about some of the bands that you play with in Lubbock, because there's so many. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm pretty sure I can guess, but Lubbock is a special place for musicians. I mean, it's hard, you'd be hard pressed to go anywhere else in Texas. I mean, there's some other cities that do, sizable cities. But as far as per capita, I would say Lubbock has probably one of the most heavily dense populations of musicians per capita. Good musicians,
Yes.
too.
Yeah. So you're right. Lubbock is a deep bench of really like stellar musicians who are all different.
Yeah.
There's some killer classical musicians here, like, all the cats that play with the symphony, of course. And some of them are very standout, like, yo. And then cats that can't read at all, not even like number charts, but they are the most musical, especially coming out of the church world.
Yeah.
They're super nice. And then, of course, playing out in gigs, we've got so many monstrous guitar players and keyboard players and bass players. So the fun thing for me is to keep it mixed up. So people always ask me if there's a specific group or something I play with. And I'm like, I play with a lot of different bass players,
Yeah.
Lots of bands need a bass player.
You and Wade Hopkins are the most wanted people in town.
Yeah. And, it's cool because I do a lot of pickup work where people will be coming through and something will happen. And then it's like, hey, last month or maybe the month before last, there's this artist named Hannah Dasher out of Nashville who came through, and she had something happen with her band and they weren't able to make it. And so I literally talked to her Thursday morning and then learned her set, that night, because I was on a session during the day. Learned her set and then played with her like Blue Light and then Hotel Turkey like that weekend. So it's cool to always be learning new stuff. But bands that you can see me with is from time to time, sporadically, there's a band called the Beat Garden Band. And we formed that some years ago with Jacob Nall, who just moved to Dallas, and Devin Collins, he moved to Colorado. Devin Collins, who plays at the Cactus, Yarian Horton, who plays around with lots of different bands, and myself. And it's like groovy, funky, soul, original kind of stuff too. And
That's a talented little group right there.
oh, it's fun. We lots of just
I bet
fun.
that's fun.
Just
Just
throw
a little
down.
groove band.
Yeah, just throw down, groove, get all the funky stuff out of there. And then I sit in from time to time with Marco's crew. I have a couple of different jazz trios. One's called the Neapolitan Jazz Orchestra. And then, jazz trios is just different groups of cats. I spent some time, I got the honor of when Sean Frankhauser, like a legendary bass player around here, he, some years ago, went on the road with Bugs Henderson. And so while he was doing that gig, I got called to sit in for him with Plain Brown Rapper. And that was a great learning experience because that was John Sprott, DG Fluellen, and my homeboy JT Paz.
Oh, yeah.
And of course Sean when he was in town. But John Sprott is a walking encyclopedia of tunes.
Isn't he incredible, man?
Man, the number of tunes that man just...
No lyrics, no charts.
Doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it.
And it's right and it's bomb. So I got thrown in last minute. Hey, can you sit in while Sean's on the road? Sure. Can you send me a set list? It was the first set list was 90 songs. And then they were like, oh, we also play some of these. And it was another 40 songs. And then we had a rehearsal and we didn't rehearse any of the songs on the list. And then I get to the gig and, they take requests. So that was a great learning experience. Just learn as many songs as possible on the fly. And of course, John's like, "Yeah, you got it." I'm like, "I am struggling. I've never. Oh my god!"
Well, and what a great, he really loves on other musicians.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really admire about him. I've had him on the show and talked to
Yeah.
him, and he loves other musicians. And
Yeah.
he really pushes that with other musicians and tries to model that. And that's so cool that he does it. I bet that was a great experience playing with
Oh,
him.
it was great because I remember we would go to crickets because they played every Wednesday. So I mean, every Wednesday night I was there watching them. So every week it's like, man, they really haven't repeated a song. And do you all know this? Sure. And so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But yeah, that was a good period of growth as far as just learning a bunch of cover tunes all at once. Another good experience learning a bunch of stuff. I played with the rhythm machine at the Cactus too. So that's another pile of learning a bunch of material, that I probably wouldn't have played just on my gigs. So I got exposed to a lot of stuff. And then coming out of tech, studying like the jazz stuff on the bass part, Alan Shin, the late Alan Shin, he was still directing the jazz ensembles there. So I got to play in Jazz One with him. And then his transition, whenever he passed that off to Brad Lely, and getting to play with Brad Lely or learn under him was quite, talk about sink or swim. You're going to grow now. So Brad Lely, he played with Harry Connick Jr. and he was like the MD for the Count Basie Orchestra, heavy hitter, like New York style jazz cat, that kind of school of like hard knocks, And every time he saw me, he was picking on me. But I figured out that he only picked on the people he was trying to encourage.
That's
so I was
right.
like, okay, if I could take this, I'll be all right. And yeah, he's a good friend of mine to this day.
No wonder you're so good. You've played with the best in town.
Man, I'm very grateful because like you're saying, Lubbock is such a unique climate of craftspeople.
It's hard to describe it unless you're immersed in it.
Yeah.
Even people who live here who aren't musicians are like, yeah, I know, we got a lot of music. I'm like, no, but you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like the level of talent is really off the chart.
Yes.
Like Marco's crew, that's one of the tightest bands I've ever seen.
Nice.
They're incredible, man.
Yeah.
And I wish I could see you play with them sometime. Let me know when you play with them.
Okay. Yeah. They whenever they have the crew of cats that rotates. So if they need a sub or something, they'll hit me up and we'll slide through.
So let's talk. You're a full-time musician. You gig all the time. You travel and play. You've played probably all multi-states, if not all across the nation. Let's talk a little bit about what you've done tour-wise, session play. I know you've done some session work. Let's talk about that a little bit, your career.
Okay. So I guess my motto is Lubbock is home base, but the globe is my playground. So I love staying based out of Lubbock because my family is here and I've got those roots and everything. But anytime I get to go out and see something or do something, that's what I'm about. So I've played, of course, all around Texas, and I have done some touring across the country. Some guys that I met at Tech, we formed a little super trio, little keyboards, bass, and drums, and they moved to Brooklyn. But we've done some work up there. So I'm the person that still lives in Texas, and they've been trying to convince me to move up there for a decade. And I like to go up there. And, New York, Brooklyn especially, is a lot of fun, but I'm a country girl. So 2 weeks, I'm ready to come home,
Big city's a little too much after that.
I need the stars and the yard and the dog, So that's fun to go do for a while and then come back. But through that, we started, and those connections, I've gotten a tour across the country. So spend time, of course, that area in New York. I've spent a lot of time in Colorado, of course, doing the festival scene around there, and the Pacific Northwest, doing that festival run.
Seattle, Oregon. I bet that's fun.
Yeah, Seattle, Oregon, like Applegate, Bellingham, all up there. It's beautiful, especially if you go about September or so, this time of year where it stops raining a little bit and the sun comes out and blooms and they're ready to have a good time. So that's always fun. And Then I've also been international, so my passport's pretty well stamped.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're living a pretty cool life.
I'm grateful. It's a hustle, but whenever you love what you do, you don't mind the hustle.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of people don't see is how much work is invested in not only higher education, learning how to read music, learning how to play an instrument, learning how to fine-tune your craft, how to become a craftsman, not only with your instruments, but with your lyrical content, with melodies. There's a lot of work involved in being a full-time gigging musician, and then being your own roadie.
Right. Oh, yeah. The schlep is real. Yeah.
So what are you doing right now? Let's talk about, you're playing around town quite a bit. Are you doing mostly solo gigs right now?
So coming up is kind of a combo of things. So of course I have my solo set, and that's easy to just kind of drop anywhere and do my deal. But I really do enjoy getting to play with other musicians and getting to do different types of deals. So of course, you could check out my solo sets, but I'm looking forward to it. I know it's kind of random, but I'm really looking forward to in this fall or this coming year. I have strong roots, of course, at Tech, playing with the steel drum band. And I love pan music. Like I fell in love with it while I was there, and I'm gonna play with the steel band this year. So it's random, but I'm really excited about that.
I bet that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Because that's probably not like playing with anybody else. It's probably its own unique thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's a mix of my favorite parts of different ensembles. So you got like the groove stuff, and then like the world music with the pan, and I mean steel drums. They just make people happy.
They do.
And then like all the groove stuff, and then it's a mix of all the things about music I like. I like to was it last season? Lubbock Symphony, they did a Aretha Franklin tribute to kick off the season, and I got to play bass. And I'm like, okay, I played with Lubbock Symphony as a percussionist while I was in school and everything. I was like, I would really like to play bass with the orchestra. So I got to do that, and the hall was lit because very diverse crowd. Everybody came out. It's Aretha Franklin. So a nice mix in the audience. And I looked up one point in time and the audience was dancing. I was like, Lubbock, Texas. I'm watching Lubbock, Texas dance at a symphony concert. Yes.
And I'm playing bass with them.
Yeah, that'll work.
Check off the bucket list.
Like, cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
So are you working on any projects actively in the studio, doing anything? Or
Yes. So I do a bunch of session work for lots of different people. I work at different studios around here. Work at an Alan Crossland studio out there in Acove, and Scott Ferris' studio, Amusement Park. And then I'm working on a project now at Mighty Fine Studios in Denver, Colorado. And that's my original stuff. And it's eclectic, solo-oriented. It's a wide range of original music. And I got
a jazz feel, or what is it?
Some of it's jazzy. I would say it's more groove than anything because of the cats that are on it. So my friend Alwyn Robinson is a drummer. He's the drummer with the trio that I was talking about from Tech. And my friend Andrew Ibanez, keyboard player. We have a great chemistry when we play together. So that's the core rhythm, the rhythm section, and then just all of these awesome musicians that I've met touring get their flavor on it, their spice in it. And I'm looking forward to it. It's really eclectic, and I'm excited about it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, you get to go to Colorado.
Right.
To play music.
Right.
I mean,
life's
good.
Yeah, no complaints. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So you've got Lubbock Live Festival coming up, is that
yes.
right?
So
let's talk about that. For anybody who doesn't know, tell us a little bit about what that is and then when you will be performing.
Okay. So Lubbock Live, Festival for the Arts, my friend Jeremy Couture is the founder. It was his vision. He wanted to put on a big festival showcasing all of the local art, not just the music, but like art and theater and dance, like, like everything. He's like, what we have here is so cool. I want to do something with it. So he had this brainchild and he started working on it just before the pandemic. And then once Lubbock opened, he was like, okay, now's a good time to start this. And we are about to have our fourth concert, third or fourth concert this year.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we're bringing in like Roger Krager and different bands. It's going to be bigger. August 31st at the Luca. We're taking over that whole area.
Outdoor?
And indoor and outdoor. We're going to have, for example, because it's going to be hot, August 31st. But inside, we're going to have a silent disco. We're going to have a karaoke contest. And then we're going to have different artists, visual arts, craftspeople, different vendors. Of course, lots of music. I can't remember how many bands. I think it's like over 20 bands, throughout the day, split across 3 different stages.
I saw the lineup. It looks incredible.
Oh, yeah. It's super stacked with that. And then Ballet Lubbock is going to come and do some performances. So trying to catch it all in there. And I think it's really cool what he wanted to do. So I'm on his board for that. And yeah, we're in crunch mode right now, getting ready for it for sure.
Well, and I love that. That's one of the reasons this was formed, because of passion for the arts and wanting to showcase how beautiful Lubbock art is, whether it's music or the venues that support the music or the arts. I think it's a really cool thing to have other artists step up and take the initiative to put on something like that.
Oh yeah, and I love, we're bringing in like some regional, more national kind of acts, but it's a big day for here's all your favorite Lubbock bands. Come see what you got. If you're trying to find a group to follow, just come sit there and check out some of everybody and go follow who you see and support them. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Buffalo Grass, because you've been a part of that too.
Yes.
So explain to me and the viewers what Buffalo Grass is all about. Are you aware of the origins of it? I mean...
So during the pandemic, I know that Lubbock got its Texas Music Friendly City certification. And I got introduced to, I call her our rock star. Her name is Stacy Keith. She's awesome. She knows how to, her and like Melissa Pierce and all the people on that board or that committee.
And she's the liaison here for the state music office.
Right.
What a rock star she is. She can make something happen like that.
Right. She's really good at corralling a bunch of musicians. I mean, hey. It gets stuff
That's talent right there.
I'm like, oh, bless you, honey. But no, she does great. And that whole committee is cool too, because on that committee is like representatives from the orchestra, representatives from MUCA, local players like myself, educators, colleges. It's a big mix of all of the different musical kind of areas around here, so it's not one way tilted. But whenever she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do with it, with, all the liaison stuff, we're like, man, we want a festival for, I'm all about festivals.
Me too.
Secretly. So,
well, your secret's out.
Yeah. But I want, we were talking about, she was asking us and a bunch of different musicians involved, like, what could she do to help? What do we need? And I was like, man, it'd be cool if we had a spot where we could share all of the knowledge that we wish somebody had told us when we were like 16 starting. Like copyrights, how to do a DBA, LLC, like,
how to sign up with your ASCAP and your BMI accounts.
All of that. It'd be cool if the kid with a guitar could come here, find this wealth of information, see what they do with it.
How to get gigs.
Yeah.
I know y'all put on workshops and other musicians teach those and educate others. And what a cool thing. Because we are a trade. I mean, it's an art, but we do have a trade. So they need education just like anybody else.
Absolutely. How to get better, how to level up, And so the Buffalo Grass Festival, it's been kind of cool because it turned into a workshop kind of concert series. So during the day last year, we brought in the Peterson brothers out of Austin, and they're super funky, and had a mix of a bunch of students to come in and see what they do, kind of ask them about their journey, and then connected connecting, especially like the high school age kids with higher education. So having South Plains and Tech and all of the different music schools around recruit. So it's like, hey, you can further this. If you want to go that route, you don't have to. But if you want it, hey, here's the resources. Check them out. Make these connections, build these relationships.
Well, that's so cool you're a part of that.
It's a fun project, and I'm just, it's fun.
Well, you can give back a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's important. And then I guess the longest kind of nonprofit passion work I've been working on is the Cap Rock Jazz Festival. So the Roots Historical Arts Alliance, our council here in Lubbock, they have the Museum of African American History on Avenue A. Every year we do the Cap Rock Jazz Festival, and it's the fundraiser, kind of like their gala kind of event for that. And we just got finished with year 9. Had Tom Braxton in, and he brought in his crew of some, Tom's Lubbock's native son, so we love Tom, and I'll showcase him. But he always brings a different crew of artists and musicians in with him.
Does he change it up every year when he comes, or is it?
Yes. So he's coming out of that like smooth jazz, groove jazz vein, but every year that he's brought somebody in, it's been a different artist every time. So we've gotten to bring some killer artists here. And then a few years ago, we had it at the Buddy Holly Hall, and we got to bring in this killer pianist out of Harlem. His name is Emmett Cohen, and that was a killer concert, man. I think he just got nominated for the Grammys, like Best Pianist of the Year. I can't remember if he won. So it's like we caught him before he was too big for us.
Got him just in the nick of time.
Just because it was the next year, he was, it was like, hey, we got him right. We had him before. We knew he was cool before. Yeah.
So along these same lines, along giving back and doing things for other musicians and for community, I want to ask you a question. So if there's anybody listening or watching that is an aspiring musician or aspiring songwriter, what advice would you give them starting out, maybe to take their career to the next level, or maybe they want to chase this dream but they're not sure on how to get started? What would your advice be for that?
So the way I approach it is each musician, we're kind of on our own journey. There's not one way to do it. The cool thing about music is if you're versatile, always be learning, always be hungry, don't get complacent. Always want to get better, because if you're hungry and you're always learning, that means you're going to develop a wide set of skills that you could pull from it, and they've come in handy. All of my musical experiences have come in handy. I'm like, I didn't know I would ever need that, but I'm happy I went through that because I'm using it now. And so I say stay hungry. I'm a big advocate of craftspeople. So anybody that I work with, I'm like, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're trying to get better. My dad used to tell me, it's okay to suck. It's not okay to continue sucking. So, even if it's a little rough, that's okay. Keep at it. Just keep doing it. There's something about putting in the time.
Absolutely.
And I am a big champion of like the artists that they're not what I call fame thirsty. They're doing it for the love, not for the recognition.
Yeah. Because
those are the people that want to help people. They're the ones they're looking for. Yeah. The ones that want to be, look at me. They see that they know they got you pegged. They know what you're about. And if that's your journey, that's cool. But the most interesting stories are the ones where it's just, I'm here, I'm doing my thing, I love it.
Yeah.
And the experiences that you get, the opportunities that you get from being a craftsperson way outweigh the fame thirst.
That's right.
Some of my coolest memories on my journey have been random and haven't been because I pursued them.
Yeah.
They just happen.
Well, and I think as far as my journey, when I started writing songs for me, instead of trying to write what I thought other people would like, the whole thing changed for me.
Yeah.
Because it becomes something so personal.
Yeah.
It's very vulnerable to spill your soul and your story through song.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're doing it for you, it becomes something, I think, magical.
Yes. Yes, and then like it's like the vibe deal, the energy deal, because then it returns. Also, along doing it for the crafts and the love, I would say make sure you surround yourself with people with integrity.
That's exactly right.
That's good for anything.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what field, but look for people with integrity. Like whenever nobody's looking.
Your parents raised you right, didn't
Well,
they?
my daddy was a preacher, and he was also military. So
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you didn't have a chance, did you?
No, I'm grateful for the good upbringing, because especially the older I've gotten, the more I see the value in what he was trying to instill in all of us. But yeah, people with integrity, especially in music, because music can be a grind. Sometimes you're flying on a whatever first class flight, whatever, and super posh gig, and sometimes you're changing a tire on the side of the road trying to get to the gig. So
running 2 hours late.
Yeah, you got to be flexible, enjoy the journey, and if you're gonna do it with people you enjoy and you could trust. It's very important.
Absolutely. Great answer, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So tell people watching and listening, number one, where they can find your gig schedule, social media, however you post it, website, and then where we could find some music of yours.
Okay, so I'm trying to drive everybody to like social, like Instagram is at Joy Harris Music, and Facebook Joy Harris. Whenever I'm got things that are going on in town, I'm usually better about posting those. I've been traveling a bunch, so I need to do a big like photo dump of what I've been up to, because people are like, "Where you been?" Yeah, I've been around and doing things. But so I'm trying to drive everyone there. I have some stuff up on like YouTube. This project that I was talking about earlier, whenever that is getting ready to drop, there'll be a bunch of social media. So keep your eyes out for that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much for being here today. I really enjoyed this. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very talented, and I'm very honored to have you here today. We've been looking forward to this one.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You
This
guys,
is so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, just getting to know people like you and being able to show the people out there who you are off stage, and you're a beautiful human being. So thank you for being here.
You.
You guys can watch all these episodes on the City of Lubbock's YouTube channel. New episode releases every Friday. They're also available to watch on the City of Lubbock's TV channel, My LBK Connect. So be on the lookout for this episode with Joy Harris and many more. And please stay tuned, as we're about to have a live performance from Joy Harris. You guys take care and stay musical.
All right. So I'll play a few tunes. I guess this first one I'd like to play is a cover, actually. It's by one of my favorite artists. Her name is Leanne LaHavis, and this tune is called Ghost. Whenever I called you, I couldn't say. Was was only yesterday, but yesterday so far away. What's the ETA? Don't tell me you need me. I am estranged, and I'm over it. The trouble it might be. There's still a part of me that wants to know what you have to say. On and on we go, always with the ghost of us in tow, stuck somewhere between a friend and foe. Round and round we go, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, round and round again, looking for life beyond the end, stuck somewhere between a foe and friend. Round and round again, round and round again. I should have told you, yes, I'm to blame. Oh, I took the blame, turned it into the serenade. Oh, what a mess I've made. Ooh, I should have warned you what was in store, but I was so sure I wasn't haunted anymore. Not forevermore, no. On and on we go, always with the ghost of us in tow, stuck somewhere between a friend and foe. Round and round we go, whoa, 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 oh, round and round again, looking for a life beyond the end, stuck somewhere between a foe and friend. Round and round again, oh, sweet rhythm, sway don't be, oh, sway that, oh, on and on we go, always with the coast of us in tow, stuck somewhere between a friend and foe. Round and round we go, whoa, 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 oh, round and round again, looking for life beyond the end, stuck somewhere between a foe and friend. Round and round again, and on we go, always with the ghost of us in tow, stuck somewhere between a friend and a foe. Round and round we go, round and round we go, round and round we go. Nice. Cool. So she's one of my favorite artists, very soulful, out of the UK. A lot of my favorite soul music right now is coming out of the UK. Speaking of the UK, it'll tie in nicely to this one. Earlier I mentioned getting to do the songwriter retreat, And as a result of the songwriter retreat here with LIPA, I was invited to go to England last summer. And I got to go to England, and it was cool because there were songwriters from all over the world. There were 5 Americans, I believe, and I was the only Texan. Lots of artists were based out of the UK and from all over, really. But it was a very cool experience. You get thrown in a room of people you've never met before, and you write music all day, and you play your songs that you wrote that day in the evening, do a big song share. At the end of the week, they kind of pick their favorite ones from the week, and we did a showcase. And I got to co-write this song over there with an artist from the UK, Michael Grace, and then another artist who lives in the UK but is from Zimbabwe. Her name is Zola Marcel. She's incredible. And they got a kick of the fact that I'm from Texas, so we kind of did this country kind of vibe song to set the scene. Imagine being out in in the country somewhere, sitting on a porch, like rocking chair, old school style, and you see somebody walking down the street, and it's your buddy, Peace, like your peace of spirit, and you're inviting Peace to come sit with you on the porch and just kind of tell you what's up and hang out with you for a little while. The song is called By Your Side. So I'll take a little second here while I'm building this to tell you what's happening. This is my best friend. Her name is Vicious. She's my 6-string electric bass guitar. Vicious is dumping into some effects, giving like different sounds. And I've got a loop station going, so I'm recording the tracks. And you're watching me build the house kind of as I'm going. The looper allows me to play solo sets as a bass player, so it's a cool little tool, cool little trick. Sit by me, you whose name I know. Tell me where you've been, I understand why you go. You move like the wind, you move me in time. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm ready for peace to come. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm ready for peace to come. Here I am in all of my forms. I may be here a long time, or just a couple of hours. Where you've been is so far from where you're going, far from the reservations. quiet ways of knowing, yeah. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm always right by your side. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm always right by your side. Oh, I'm always right by your side. Oh, I'm always right by your side. I'm always by your side. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm always right by your side. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm always right by your side. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm ready for peace to come. Yes, I'm watching and waiting, anticipating. I'm ready for peace to come. Oh, yes. Cool. Thank you. All right. Little original stuff, you know. From here, by way of England, back to here. Hey, in Zimbabwe. Cool thing about, collaborating and writing with others is fun. That was a cool process, being in there and getting thrown into it. This next one is going to be another original tune that's more jazz, more groove, that I was working on this past project. It's called Beautiful. the scars. Ooh, it's beautiful to me. My angels work so hard to guide my heart through the storms, and I'm grateful. Yes, I'm grateful. It's beautiful to me. Time will heal the scar. Guard your heart, yeah, it's beautiful to me. Time will heal the scars. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful to me. Guard your heart. Oh, time will heal the scars. It's beautiful to me. Cool. Bomb. All right, well, let's see. This next one I'd like to play is one that gets requested a lot whenever I play out. It's a cover. It's a mashup, actually, of two covers. The first part of it is the John Mayer Stop This Train. And the second part of it is Blackbird. So each song is special to me, and I like it, especially the Blackbird part. No, I'm not colorblind. I know the world is black and white. Try to keep an open mind, but I just can't sleep on this tonight. Stop this train. I wanna get off and go home again. Can't take the speed it's moving in. I know I can, but honestly, won't someone stop this train? Don't know how else to see it. Don't wanna see my parents go. One generation's left away, finding life out on my own. Stop this train. I wanna get off and go home again. Can't take the speed it's moving in. I know I can, but honestly, won't someone stop this train? Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. Oh, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. So blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of cold dark night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a cold dark night. Oh, 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 oh. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. Oh, 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 you're only waiting. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Oh, yes, take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. Oh, 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 you're only waiting for this moment to be free. So blackbird fly, blackbird fly, blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a cold dark night. Oh, 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 oh. Cool, nice. Y'all want to play another one or four?
If you want to do one more, you got it.
Let's see. What is that? F sharp? No, not F sharp. Let's see. Yeah, I got one. This song is another groovy one that people like to hear. And it's just, you know, it's a nice little uplifting kind of love song. Go. Boom, 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 boom. I could reach the stars, yes, I'd pull one down for you. Shining on my heart, yes, so you could see the truth, that this love I have inside is everything it seems. Oh, but for now I find it's only in my dreams. I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Yes, I'd change it, baby. If I could be king, even for a day, even for a day, I'd take you as my queen. Wouldn't have it any other way. And our love would rule in this kingdom we have made. Oh, till then I'll be a fool, wishing for the day I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Yes, I'd change it, baby. Yes, yes, I would. Oh, change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change, baby, if I could change, baby, if I could change the world. Yes, I'd change it, baby, yeah. I would change the world. All right, cool. Thank you guys for having me.